Okay, let's look at a possible solution to our self-check exercise. So I know I need to ask the user for the input. So let's create a few variables. So I'm going to say um, float. Well, let me use double. That seems better. So double, and I'm going to call this one uh, centimeters. Well, inch to centimeters. Okay, and I will simply have that have 2.54. Okay, so we have that set. And so let's begin. So let's do our pattern. So we know there are 3 steps. So let's start with a prompt. And so I'm going to say enter the number of feet. Okay. And then I will need to save that in the variable. So I'm going to have this be double. Okay. Since maybe the user can enter 5.5 feet. So we're going to make it double. So let's call this feet. And so I will simply say cin, and we will save the result in feet. All right. So let's do the same for the inches. I'm going to say enter the number of inches, colon, space, that's it. Let's create a variable to hold inches. Great. And let's actually read in the number of inches. Okay, that seems straightforward. So we follow the pattern, 3 steps, prompt, variable, get the result, get the variable. I did that twice, so probably I should put a space. And so here I'm going to say get the feet, and here I'm going to say get the inches. It's always good to have comments. Okay, so now I'm going to compute the or calculate the result. And so the first thing I want to do is to convert the feet to inches. All right, and so I'm going to create a variable. Let's call that total inches. And so how would I get that? Well, I know that they are 12 inches to a foot, so I should just create a variable for that. So I'm going to say int inches or feet to, let's say, foot to inch. Okay, and we know that's 12. And so total inches will simply be the number of feet times 12. All right, so number of feet, we know that is in feet, and we're going to multiply by 12, which we know is foot to inch. Okay, and so I have the total number of inches. So once I have the total number of inches, it's just a matter of multiplying by 2.54. So that's easy enough. So I'm going to say double centimeters. Okay, will be total number of inches, which is total inches, times how many centimeters in an inch, which is inch to centimeter. Okay, and so that means that on line 33, I should have the total number of centimeters. And so now put another, so I'll say step 2 was convert inches to centimeters. Okay, and so now I will simply display the result. Okay, and so I have been given a pattern, so I will just follow that. See out. It will be feet, so I will say feet. And then I need to have a space, and then we will say FT. Okay, and I will put inches space. Okay, inches is a space, and the final answer, which we know is in centimeters. Okay, and then of course we could put a new line, but let's not do n line. We could do this, but we know we can make it shorter, and so I'm going to simply do this, \n, \n. Okay, and so that seems like a reasonable result. Now, does this work? We don't know. The compiler will have to tell us if what we wrote is actually correct. And so we have a little check here. We know that if we get this, then we are pretty confident that we wrote the correct program. Okay. Okay, so enter the number of feet. I'm going to enter 4. Enter the number of inches. I'm going to enter 9. And then it says 4 feet and 9 inches is 121.92. Okay, which is not our answer. And so we'll need to check our calculation again. So we know that 4 feet, that's 48 inches, and so we should get something like 144.78. So let's see where we made a mistake. So again, we will need to look somewhere here in our calculation. Okay, and so I'm going to take feet. Okay, I'm going to multiply that by 12. Okay, and then I will convert total inches. So can you spot my error? Well, I converted the feet to inches, however, I forgot to include the inches that the user also entered. All right, so again, I just wanted to show you that programs don't work. They rarely work on the first instance. Okay, and so it's good that you always write out on a paper what a sample solution should be so that you can test your code. So this is easy to fix. I know that I forgot to add total inches. And so let me do that here. I'm going to say total inches will now be, or actually I could make it on the same line. I could just do this. So feet times the inch gives me the conversion from feet to inches, and then I will simply add to that the inches that the user entered. Okay, and that's the fix. So let's run it again. Okay, so we have 4 feet we have 9 inches, and so now we have 144.78, which lines up with the answer that we worked out before we started writing the program. And I am confident that my answer is correct. I am confident that my code is correct. And so that's my solution. Again, this is one possible solution, right? But whichever way you approach the problem, whichever way you wrote the code, you should end up with 144.78 as the output. Okay, I'll see you in the next lesson where we will jump into conditionals, which is another construct that you need to write meaningful programs in C++. I'll see you in that next lesson.